This month marks 2 years since dozens of protesters were hurt in downtown Austin. 19 officers were indicted on aggravated assault charges. With protests happening this weekend, Austin Police Chief Joe Chacon is vowing reforms and promising protesters will be safe.
The chief recently sat down with senior reporter Tony Plohetski. Here's more in this KVUE Defenders exclusive.
What lessons has the Austin Police Department taken from the protest of May 2020 and carried forward to where we are now?
As a police department, we have a responsibility to do better. And we look at almost every incident that we're involved in, whether it's a smaller incident or a large-scale incident, and try to look at the lessons learned. We certainly have done that coming out of the summer of 2020. The first thing I can tell you is that we have continue to prohibit the use of less lethal munitions, also known as beanbag rounds, in any type of crowd control situation to ensure that we never see those kind of horrific injuries happen again. Overall, what we're trying to do is create a space in which people can come and safely protest and have voice, while at the same time balancing that with public safety and making sure we're keeping the public safe.
How do you strike that balance, though? I mean, the interest in protesters protesting, which is their right, but not violating the law in the process. Where's the line, and at what point do the police say this is actionable for us?
There's no set rule to that. I'll give you a good example of how we do tolerate some law breaking when we have large crowds that want to take to the streets and they want to march. And these are unsanctioned, unpermitted marches, but we will at times give them the street and provide a bubble escort to where we can block traffic so that the protesters are able to walk safely in the street and are able to to have a voice. And then other things, we're just not going to tolerate property damage, assaults that occur, and things like that. We will immediately take action in order to keep property and obviously people's personal safety safe.
What is the current directive with regard to using force on protesters?
There is no directive that's written out that says you will in this case and you won't in this case. What we fall back on is our training. This is foundational to our policy and foundational really to the Austin Police Department, is that we need to use the minimum amount of force necessary to affect whatever it is that is kind of out of control at that moment, because that's the only time that we should be using force. In other cases, we should be reasoning with people, we should be de-escalating situations and having dialogue and talking to people to really bring the temperature down on whatever the situation is.
Do you have a message for the public who may be planning to attend a protest in coming days or coming weeks?
I really would like to make a statement that, at the Austin Police Department, and really the city of Austin as a whole, we respect the right for people to come out and have that protest, and we're going to give you a good venue to be able to do that. We want to make sure that we provide a space that you can come out, you can peacefully protest. But I ask also that as officers are giving directions, that those directions are followed. That's the only way that we're going to be able to, really be able to manage and kind of keep it peaceful.
Can a member of the Austin public feel safe if they plan to participate in a protest?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it's important to know that, we saw some horrific injuries come out of that summer. On my watch, I'm telling you, we're not going to see those again.
And the city of Austin has since paid out more than $13 million to people injured by police in the May 2020 protests. The chief added that the department remains on what he calls tactical alert right now, meaning that all officers must come to work in full uniform and be ready to respond to the street in anticipation of more protests. Brian Aquita.
He mentioned on his watch, it's important to note too, he was not the chief in 2020. He was on the executive staff then, but was not the police chief in the summer of 2020.
That's right, an assistant police chief at that time who was involved, as the entire executive staff was, in the coordination of those protests, but again, stepping up to the job of police chief last year.
This weekend will definitely be a lesson in how APD can handle these sort of events.
Some might say a test. We'll see how
Indeed.
it goes. A great conversation, Tony.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
being here.